people who are viewing from within New Zealand and Australia. So we welcome our guest, Maulana Haider Shirazi, for a talk of the morning. Assalamu
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. We ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala on this glorious day and the moments that you are in, the Fajr and pre-Fajr, pre-dawn, which is one of those most important and most Mubarak occasions. And one of the reasons, now in general circumstances, because that's the time when there is a heavy downpour of the angels, angels of the day returning to serve, angels of the night leaving from service. And that is the time when there is this immense downpour of the barakat of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And in all these teachings that we have, it is said that to wake up at night, and especially at that time of before Fajr, if you want dunya, it is in that. If you want akhirah, it is in that time. And Marhum Qazi Tabatabai, the mentor of the Urafa and also the Asatid of one of the ones who passed recently, it's Marhum Ayatullah Bahjat, he used to say that wake up at that time, keep up at that time, whatever you want can be given to you at that time. And if you don't feel like offering the night prayers at that time, just get up, sit up and have a cup of tea, and don't deprive yourself of the barakat of the time that is before Fajr. So it's a beautiful time. Now, one of the complaints that Rasulullah has, in fact, quite a lot of complaints he has on the Day of Judgment. Now, this has been mentioned in Quran. It says, وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ يَا رَبِّ إِنَّ قَوْمَ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. He would say that, my Lord, my people had abandoned this Quran, which is a fact, which is a reality, that the importance that should be given to Quran is not given by us. And the approach that we have towards the Holy Quran, it's so not good. And when you look into the programs also that are held, you have an audience for every program, a large number of people attending in different observances. But when it comes to Quran, now in this lockdown, we saw the same thing, and pre-lockdown, it was the same. Worldwide, globally, it is the same. In the northern hemisphere, this is the case. In the southern hemisphere, this is the case. In all these jalasat that are held for Quran, it is a very, very small portion of mu'mineen that participate, which is very sad. When you look into the ta'keed Quran has on Quran, ta'keed Ma'asumeen had for Quran, and all the noble ones, the importance they gave to Quran, and when we compare ourselves with our share and what our role has to be, it is zero, we could say, in simple words, which is very bad. Quran has to be the center point of our lives. Quran, every prosperity, every success can be sought via the Quran. And if we want benefit in this dunya, it is with the Holy Quran. And in the Akhirah also it's the same. In Quran, there are so many ayat that say, فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. For example, in Surah Muzammil, when Allah addresses His most beloved Habib, and then in this surah, He's talking about an issue, and all of a sudden He says, فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. That is, recite whatever is possible for you from the Quran. And then He talks about other issues. And once again he comes up Allah and says فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, yet again emphasizes that recite Quran. Now these great personalities that we have, among them Imam Khomeini rahmatullahi alayhi, with that busy schedule that he had in the month of Ramadan, he used to shut down everything, every other business. It only for emergencies it was open. And because this month is a special month and we have to give a lot of emphasis to Quran, in reciting Quran, in understanding Quran. And here Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, in one of those famous quotes, he says that فَإِذَا الْتَبَسَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْفِتَنِ, when you see that there are all these fitnas and mishaps and balas that you are surrounded with, كَقِطَعِ اللَّيْلِ الْمُظْلِمِ, like a pitch dark night, you are surrounded with all these fitnas and problems. What do? Rasulullah says فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِالْقُرْآنِ, that is, it is wajib on you, it is binding on you. Alaykum in Arabic means it is mandatory upon you, it is binding upon you, that whenever you have been hit in a turbulence, in a problem, alaykum bil Quran, you go to Quran. Why do you go to Quran? Says فَإِنَّهُ شَافِعٌ مُشَفَّعٌ, it is that being, that existence that will intercede. Mushaffa'un, and the intercession of Quran is definite, it is certain. مَاحِلٌ مُصَدِّقٌ مَنْ جَعَلَهُ أَمَامَهُ قَادَهُ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ, if you place Quran before you, it will lead you, it will take you to the heaven. وَمَنْ جَعَلَهُ خَلْفَهُ سَاقَهُ إِلَى النَّارِ, if you put Quran behind you, that will take you to the hell. وَهُوَ الدَّلِيلُ يَدُلُّ عَلَى خَيْرِ السَّبِيلِ, Quran, it's that guide, it is that evidence, it will take you to the best of paths. فَظَاهِرُهُ حُكْمٌ, when you see the verses of ayat, they are all definite, they are all commands, and they are all filled with wisdom. It's ilm, it's knowledge. And then you see that it is so simple, at the same time it is so deep, these ayat, the verses of Quran. Quran hudan min al-dhalala, that is, it is a guide in all the deviations. It is tibyanun min al-ama, in every blindness you would see that Quran is what will guide you and it will walk you through. So Quran, a lot of importance has to be given to it. When you see the riwayat also, they says that people who did not benefit from the Holy Quran whilst they were living and in their lives, عُلِّمَ فِي قَبْرِهِ, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that Quran will be taught to them in their graves. Taught to them in their graves. Now, when we die, the file closes. Whatever we've learned, whatever we've earned, the baqiyatus salihat, everything comes to an end. Here, Hadith says that Quran will be taught to us in our graves, and then we will regret that whilst we were alive, why did we not give importance to Quran? Why did we not come to Quran? Why did we not understand Quran? Quran is beautiful and it's lacking in our lives. In Surah Muzammil, you see, إِنَّ رَبَّكَ يَعْلَمُ أَنَّكَ تَقُومُ أَدْنَى مِنْ ثُلُثَيِ اللَّيْلِ وَنِصْفَهُ وَثُلُثَهُ وَطَائِفَةٌ مِنَ الَّذِينَ مَعَكَ. Allah says that He knows, your Lord knows that, O Prophet, you rise, you stand at night in worship. It's 2/3 of the night you are in worship, half of the night you are in worship, part of the night you are in worship, and Allah is the one who manifests and who has the power over the night and the day. And then after talking about all of this, suddenly Allah says, فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, recite whatever is possible for you from the Quran. And then when it comes to Quran, you see that all these different doubts and confusions that are being created by people. Why is that? Because there is an evil and there is a zayg, or deviation in their hearts. That is why they come up towards those parts of the Quran where they don't understand. Quran clearly says that some of these ayat, they are crystal clear. You don't need any tafsir, you don't need any extra explanation. But some of these ayat, they are mutashabih, that is, you need help in understanding those ayat. Where do you get that help from? You get that help from those who know, that is, from those of those who are learned in that field. وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. You get that help from the Ma'sumin alayhimus salam. They will tell you what these ayat mean. They don't understand, they just go after those ayat. Why does Quran say this? Why does Quran say that? And they come up with all these different excuses to put aside Quran. So Quran, it's that greatest of the blessings of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala that Rasulullah leaves behind for us. But how do we deal with that Quran? So in this month especially, and at this time of Sahar, if you ask Allah that give us an opportunity that we benefit from this glorious book a lot in this month, and whatever we've learned, it continues after this sacred month. It shouldn't be as such that Quran, when Rasulullah complains and says that my nation abandoned Quran, it is a fact. Now what do we do with Quran? We want, when we are traveling for protection, for safety, we just bring that Quran and everyone has to go under the Quran, or we spend so much of money to buy the best of the prints of Quran to be given to the bride, or it's this Khatm Quran which is done, recitation of Quran when someone dies, or even worse than that, Quran is totally absent from the lives of many of the Muslims. Recitation of it also lacks in many of these places. So it is sad. Quran that has to be first, which has to be foremost in our livings, doesn't have that place. It's the last most we could say, which is very sad. When then Quran says that Rasulullah, in a hadith from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, يَجِيءُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ ثَلَاثَةٌ يَشْكُونَ. On the day of judgment, three will come and they will complain. Who are those three? The first one is Al-Mushaf. Mushaf is the book, is Quran. Wal-Masjid, and then Wal-Itra. Masjid will also complain. Itrat are the Ahlul Bayt, they will complain. Now what kind of a complaint is that? Says يقول المصحف يا رب حرقوني ومزقوني. Quran will come and say that, God, they burnt me, they destroyed me. Now we don't burn Quran, we don't destroy in that sense. But when you don't give importance to it and when you put it aside, and only when in cases when you want to swear an oath, we bring that Quran down and then use it for swearing an oath, for promises, etc., for these little things that we do. Or when you go to mosque, you see this Quran has been written so beautifully, but no one can read what these ayat say, and what is the meaning of those ayat. So Quran has to be presented in a way that people, they benefit from it. When they go to the mosques also, when they see these ayat, they could read it. It's good to have a beautiful art, but when someone is not benefiting from what is written over there, then what's the point? And then Masjid also will complain on the day of judgment. يَقُولُ الْمَسْجِدِ يَا رَبْ عَطَّلُونِي. That is, they abandoned me, no one came to visit me, they ruined me. And then Itrat, that is the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, they will also complain on the day of judgment. They would say that يَا رَبْ قَتَلُونِي قَتَلُونَا تَرَدُونَا شَرَّدُونَا. And then they would say that they alienated us, they isolated us, they killed us, they dispersed us. And then the Holy Prophet says that I will kneel down before the existence of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and wait for His divine decree of the Almighty. The Almighty also would say that I am more deserving and I will judge for all this animosity that was shown. So Quran, we have to give importance to it. Now, the least that a person should recite Quran in a hadith from Imam Riza alayhi salatu wassalam is 50 ayat every day. 50 ayat every day must be recited by every individual. That is the least that a person can recite. And then in this month of Ramadan, Allah gives special barakat in the time of an individual when he starts understanding Quran. If that desire is sincere, that I want to recite, I want to complete a khatm. And nowadays we have so many online sessions, you can be part of them. And now there is no way a person can say that I did not have access, I could not learn, no one could come, no one could teach. This excuse is gone. Even if it did exist prior to this lockdown, but with this lockdown, all those excuses are also gone. So people will have no excuse. They can't say that I never got an opportunity to learn. Everything is open now in this lockdown, which is a barakah, you could say, that Allah, when He closes a door based upon His wisdom, He opens hundreds of doors based upon His mercy. That is, وَرَحْمَتِي وَسَعَتْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. So we have to benefit a lot. It's only the seventh day of the sacred month. If we haven't done much in the past few days, do it. Benefit from Quran. Give a time slot to the holy book, and you would see for yourself how much of a barakat it brings in the life of an individual, especially the youth, especially the children. Hadith says that someone who bonds with Quran, learns Quran, recites Quran whilst he is young, whilst he is still a child, that Quran becomes part and parcel of his body, his blood and flesh. And you would see that these ayat of Quran that they have learnt while they were children, and if God forbid down the road living in the West, and now West and East doesn't matter nowadays, everything is one. If there is any kind of inhiraf or deviation that does come in the lives of these youth at some point during their life, but this Quran will bail them out. This Quran will help them out. So bond your children with Quran as long as they are children. Bond them with Quran. If you don't do that, when we send them to schools and universities, then it's gone and you can't do anything. So that is that first and the foremost duty that is assigned to everyone, that Rasulullah, upon whom this book was revealed and the assignment given to him is this Quran and Ahlul Bayt. The two things, they have to be taught, they have to be educated, they have to be given to these children. When I see these beautiful children who have bonded with Quran and how beautiful they recite, you see that there is a special nur and nuraniyat in them, especially those who are somehow connected to Quran. And when you compare them with those who have no connection, you see there is something massive missing in them who are not connected with the Quran. And we have to try and do something, especially in this month of Ramadan, that we don't be among those to whom Rasulullah, he complains. So in another quote here, it says that Ya Sa'd, ta'allamul Quran. That is, here Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says, Sa'd, learn Quran, فَإِنَّ الْقُرْآنِ يَأْتِي يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فِي أَحْسَنِ سُورَةٍ. It will appear on the day of judgment in the best form. نَظَرَ إِلَيْهَا الْخَلْقِ. That is, you would see that people would have ever seen someone such beautiful, such magnificent. Quran will appear on the day of judgment in such form. وَالنَّاسُ صُفُوفٌ عِشْرُونَ وَمِئَةْ أَلْفَ صَفٍ. And people will be in 200,000 rows, and so many of them will be, 80,000 from among them will be the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there on the day of judgment, you would come and see that Quran, it was revealed, it descended upon the earth, and then it will ascend towards the heaven. And there you would come to know that this Quran, it is the inner self and the batin of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam and the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Quran, we have to give importance to it. Now all this a lesson to myself first, and in this month of Ramadan, as much as it is possible for you, give importance to it and participate in sessions that are related to the Holy Quran, because it is the season of Quran. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr, shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. It is the month of Ramadan in which Quran was revealed. If Quran was revealed, so Quran has to be the top priority of every individual. Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran, in which Quran was revealed. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala help us in being with the Holy Quran, keep us with the Holy Quran, and make us die on the path of Quran and raise and resurrect us with the Holy Quran, inshaAllah. Wa subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillah rabbil alameen.